Derek Bell is in Sky 5 HD over the Sherman Oaks area and the 405 freeway. A very dangerous police pursuit underway.
This guy's really traveling at a high rate of speed on surface streets in the Costa Mesa, Huntington Beach area. Again, this is a stolen vehicle, possibly involved in a car-to-car shooting. Pursuit starting with the LA County Sheriff's Department, and now they're deep down into Orange County.
Yeah, and what's scary about this is that, you know, we cover these pursuits. Whoa. We cover these pursuits, you know,
you almost hit a cop.
Yeah.
Traveling on the wrong side of the road, very high rates of speed. We are basically southbound, and this is going to be Fairview Road, southbound on Fairview Road, and we're just now. Wow, okay, so the police have actually backed off a little bit here. Sheriff's helicopter is still overhead, keeping very close tabs. Made his way down to Newport Beach, and then that's where we kind of came live as he was leaving Newport Beach over towards Huntington Beach on surface streets here. So it does look like he's kind of making a big circle around this part of Costa Mesa here, guys.
Yeah, and what I was saying a little while ago, just in terms of these pursuits, you know, they're very dangerous. They're always dangerous, but add armed suspect, stolen vehicle.
So there's something coming up there. There it is. There it is right there.
The Bearcat's coming up?
That's what it appears to be.
There you go. That's it. There it is. That's the Bearcat. That's exactly what we predict is going to happen.
Okay, we've got you there. It looks like he might be going straight or might be making a right turn there. And basically a right turn would take him basically to the southwest. So over towards Huntington Beach, although there is not a bridge that crosses over through the wetlands into Huntington Beach here. So he's going to have to work his way out of here if he continues on another mile or so. So let's see kind of what he does here. But 177th Street is what he's tracking here, kind of southwestbound, westbound, off of the major here. And we just kind of continue here. Helicopter that is right above him. They are tracking him. They are monitoring his movements here. And again, he is going to be northbound now, northbound Placentia Avenue here, coming through Costa Mesa. And we're basically tracking through, well, what looks to be kind of partially residential and part industrial. So not too far from some of the neighborhoods here. So he is not driving as erratically because he's not being directly chased. So let's see what he does here. Obviously some very dangerous maneuvers here, driving into oncoming traffic, almost colliding with several vehicles here, including a police vehicle that was, getting in line to pick him up southbound there. So we just kind of watch this guy, and he's definitely slowed down a little bit here, and that is certainly some good news here, especially if you're a commuter or a pedestrian on the surface streets here. But he's right at the intersection, Placentia Avenue. Going to be making a right turn, it looks like, back onto Victoria Street. Victoria Street, if you remember, was the street we were on.
It looks like he's jumped back onto the freeway now, so we're back on the 55. Mark had mentioned that he was originally on the 405 south to the 55 and then got back on surface streets. There's a chance that he could exit here again.
He's
but again,
done this lap before, right?
Oh, he has. Well, and that's another thing that we talk about a lot too is that.
So
go ahead.
There you go, kind of coming off the 55 freeway there as it kind of funnels into Newport Beach here. This is an area that he came through probably about 10 minutes ago, and we kind of did that big circle around Newport over towards Huntington Beach. So let's see what he does here. If he kind of copies what he did last time, he would have made a right turn right there, but no more than about 5 minutes ago here. So, you know, it stands to reason that this guy might be familiar with this area. Oh, okay, so he just nails the curb, nails a couple of cars there. He gets turned sideways. A very bad crash here, southbound on Prairie, right before El Segundo. Southbound Prairie, right before El Segundo, and as he lost control, he hit the right side of the curb there. He's now turned sideways. There is a very good possibility that this vehicle, he might not be able to pull out of this one here because essentially that car might be stuck at this point. So, again, there you go, the LAPD southbound on Prairie, right at El Segundo. That's the major intersection here in Hawthorne. We're just about 2 blocks south of the Hawthorne Airport here. And as you can see, the LAPD is again moving a little bit tighter to the suspect vehicle, a stolen vehicle suspect here. You can see LAPD officers out of the vehicle, guns drawn, cars both still smoking. You saw that pretty violent collision there where the suspect actually lost control, hit the curb on the right side, and then careened off the curb. and then hit two cars that were southbound, waiting at the red light just before El Segundo Boulevard here. So for that matter, if we widen out the shot just a tiny bit here, Rich, El Segundo Boulevard just to the top left is going to be partially shut down. They are getting that locked down. Northbound is still moving for the moment, but I suspect that they will shut down northbound traffic as well so that they can deal with the stolen vehicle suspect here. Again, we understand that this guy might be suffering from some sort of emotional distress, so we don't know what to expect at this point. We're not going to zoom in too wide, but I can tell you that there is still some smoke coming from the vehicles there. I don't know that we see movement here, but undoubtedly the guy is still in the car. And as officers with their guns drawn are trying to get this guy to come out, have a look at that. Wow, is that a dramatic picture or what? My goodness. Ginger, let me send it back down to you.
They've got a lot of options with that. So he's not going to go anyplace with that in front of him. But those officers have a lot different equipment they can employ. But this, is, again, has been utilized successfully in the past, and I think you'll see how they utilize it again. It's a wonderful tool called a rescue vehicle. And that North Hollywood shootout a number of years ago,
yes,
where they had to use a Brinks truck, and I was at that scene to rescue people. After that, they started to obtain these vehicles, rescue vehicles.
Well,
and they're
I covered that live
good.
on the air, Dennis. I remember that well. I covered it live on the air, and it was a horrific scene.
It was horrific. And then it's interesting that after that situation, no one died, but there were some officers that passed away after that that were involved in that tragedy, that bank robbery on Lancashire Boulevard. I believe it was like Laurel Canyon. I think it was Laurel Canyon.
Yes.
The B of A.
It was the Bank of America there, yes.
B of A. Yeah, I still remember that. And I was at that scene, and those two individuals that were robbing banks.
So I would imagine that the law enforcement at this time is looking to get this guy settled down and onto the ground at some point here so that they can take him into custody. So,
you know, they can't just go up on him, so it's going to take a minute to get him down on the ground and get that gun away from him, and then hopefully we'll be able to get him into custody. All right, so if you're just joining us, this pursuit, really interesting. A stolen vehicle, alleged stolen vehicle. He pulled over from a gun-to-gun shooting from one vehicle to another. And then the pursuit started on the 405 in Lakewood, 405 to the 55 south, ended up in Newport along Costa Mesa and also Huntington Beach. A lot of fast speeds on surface streets, and then he got stuck in a cul-de-sac and had nowhere to go, and basically exited that car, jumped over a fence, and here we've got the shot back. So it looks like they have apprehended him by now.
It was over, and he was wise enough to put his hands in the air, and now this suspect has been apprehended. Again, this is a gray Honda Civic or an Acura. We're not quite sure which model. Started in LA County Sheriff's Department went in pursuit all the way down into Orange County.
Well, the great thing, he is in handcuffs now, and that gun being taken away from him. We are going to take a quick break. We'll find out more eventually of what happened to that passenger, and we'll be right back.